Kids are killing me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What do we got? Today is Wednesday, right? I don't know. I'm having a hard time just keeping up with the damn days, man. They're going by so fast right now. Oh, it's like everything in the world's moving super slow, but time is still rolling on really fast. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Moon enters Aries today. And it's the start of the Celtic tree month of Reed. Okay. Oh. See what we got going on today. It's not been too terribly exciting over here. Oh no, what happened yesterday? So yesterday, my uncle came, picked me up. We had to do some stuff at Walmart. We had to go and get some stuff for the car. And we're riding along, and we hit this point at the end of the road where it's like, it's the end of the road, it's T-section, and then there's the one lane that you can go to turn that way, and then the one lane you can turn to go. And there was this big pile of like mud and dirt and stuff in the road. And he goes, "What the hell is that? Is that shit?" And I was like, "It could be. It looks like manure." And he rolled through it. And it was. And oh my God, did it stink. It was all up under his car, in the wheel wells. I'm like, it's been this weird theme lately. You know, first we had my mom slipped and fell in poo when the dogs got sick, like a week or so ago. What else happened? The other day, Rob hit some with the lawnmower, with the weed whacker at his job, sprayed himself in it. And then that happened. I was just like, wow, this is just a really shitty Mercury retrograde. It hasn't been too terrible for me. I've been rolling through it. Like, I don't know. Like, the ability for things to bother me anymore, really. They just don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do have my moments where I get pissy or whatever, or I'm disappointed, or, I was a little mad at my daughter this morning because she had my laptop in her room. I was like, dude. She's like, I was charging it. I was like, no, it goes on my desk. And you guys are not allowed to touch my laptop today. Driving me nuts with that. Let's switch it up today. I haven't used the fairy deck in a minute. But yeah, I've noticed that too. There seems to always be a theme with the Mercury retrogrades. And I do believe there was an episode of the Leo King over the last couple of weeks where one day I was watching it, one of his things. I was just like, dude, there's a lot of bathroom talk. I'm like, this whole episode is like shit themed. And I was like, the message I'm taking away for this Mercury retrograde is watch where you step. So, very weird. Very weird. 'Tis my life, 'tis my life. Nonsense that I notice. The problem with this deck is they're pretty hard to shuffle. But I hope you guys are having a beautiful morning. It's hard to say have a beautiful day. Haven't even started the day yet. Debating on what I want to do with my day. I don't even know what I want to do today. I do believe he's supposed to be coming over at some point this morning to put that piece in the car. And then hopefully I'll be mobile. I'm not getting my hopes up anymore on it. This thing is doing car, man. It's not my choice. It's technically my mother's car, so this is what it is. Rob's supposed to be getting a truck from his dad, but that's all tied up into probate stuff right now. So it's sad. I mean, there's not too much terrible difference from yesterday to today. We're still just moving on, moving through. I know you guys have been having some crazy times going on. If you're out there doing the work, putting in the effort, and I'm proud of some of y'all. Some of you guys, you're making huge strides right now, and I know it's a ton of pressure. So, but you guys are really doing great. I mean, if you had any idea what went on behind the scenes for me between just 2017 and this year, that's why everybody's like, like my counselors. Remember, I'm still finishing out my year of mandated counseling. They're always asking me, they're like, how are you doing with COVID? I was like, I love what's happening right now. I love that people aren't doing anything. I love that I don't have to go into stores. I love that I can stand 6 feet away from people and I'm not considered the weirdo anymore. I love how people aren't on top of me in lines. I love it. I hope we stay, I hope we carry some of these things, which we did too. It's when it became rude to just talk to strangers. Did you guys see what I did with that box? No? You're no help. I need some sort of system here. I don't like leaving my cards out. Like, I don't know, people leave their cards out of their boxes, and I don't do that. I don't have cats, but I have children, and they will get into everything. And if I leave anything out for them to destroy, it will be destroyed. Oh. I know. And they're grown, and they have their own lives, and they're not around to bother me anymore. I'm going to miss them. But until such time, if they could just ease off on the breaking my stuff, that would be awesome. Which I think my kids have been handling this whole thing pretty good, too. I'm ready for things to get back to normal, though, in the same sense. All right. So I still see on the 3D line, there's still just a lot of work that needs to be done. We got the 5 of Wands, and this is like kind of calling you to call in your spiritual wolf pack to protect you right now. So don't be afraid to call on the ancestors and things like that to defend yourself. I mean, you even got the 7 of Wands here too. So it's just a lot of defensive energy, a lot of worrying, and a lot of looking back on the past negatively, which is weird because it's almost like this doorway is barred off to you right now because you're not done working through it. You're just not done working through it. There's just still defensive, more defensive energy, worrying about money, bitching about the past. So this doorway is shut. And I say that in this deck because it's not shut, but you got to battle the shadow first. There's a dragon in front of that door. You got to battle it if you want to get through it to move on to a new phase. And you got to be able to take the physical steps that you're supposed to in the 3D. You have to. You can't just sit there and talk about it all the time. You got to actually take the steps. If you're going to do it, do it. This whole, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again because it's always the same people, and it's always Yeah, it's always, you have an escape plan, but there's always an excuse to keep it going. Becca does it to me all the time. It's one more holiday season, one more summer, one more vacation, one more. It's never a good time to breach that subject. It's never a good time to really push on anything. And that just, it is what it is. And I forgive y'all for those of you that do that. It's not easy to ask people to completely change their lives. But at the same time, it's the same thing as false generosity. It's like, I was going to give somebody something really nice, but I didn't, but I still I still feel good for even thinking about doing something good. It's kind of like, I think my kid's dad does that a lot to me too. What he feels good about doing things that he never actually did. It's like, you said you were going to do them, and you may have every intention of doing it, but you never actually did it. You just took the feeling of it. So it's like, you guys keep getting this empowered feeling to cut these cords or break these connections, or get out of these toxic situations, and you make all these grand plans in your head, but you never actually put them into fruition. So you get this empowered buzz off it, but at the same time, you still choose to stay in the shitty situation. I love you. But that is why that 1111 universal doorway frequency, why that door is kind of closed to you guys right now. You're going to have a hard time connecting to it because you're lying to yourself. I love you. All right. 40 line. King of coins, but you are well aware of what you are in charge of. 3 of staves. You do see where you do see. This is what I mean. In your head, you've got it. This is killing me, right? Justice in the middle, balancing your scales. 6 of cups, assigning positive meanings to the past. And you see what he's doing? Right? He's not just disappearing on them. He's leaving a trail. But he's like, I'm not staying here anymore. Here's where I'm going if you want to come with me, but I'm not staying here anymore. Even the Knight of Staves is on a boat here. So your thought processes are in the right spot. But that's what I was just saying. But on the 3D, you're not making any moves. And I don't even see this so much as it's you're hiding your moves. I see this as you're not making any moves. Or you're purposely starting to complicate shit. I'm worried about that with energy traps too. People feel you start pulling away, they will start busting out those energy traps to re-engage you, mess up your plans, anything that you think that you're doing. All right. So just be mindful of that. That's fine to defend yourself against, but don't get so defensive that you make yourself paranoid to make any changes. Okay. On the 5D, I got the 9 of Springs. Protect the fruits of your labors. Prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. 2 of Summer. Falling in love and making a serious commitment to somebody. Forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. So these are the energies that are on the moving away side. So I do see this as, you're trying to protect what you have built. Good morning. You're trying to protect what you have built. You're trying to see if you can salvage any of the relationships. In the center here, we got the 4 of Autumn. Manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spend and save your money. Help out those who are less fortunate. So that is always the balance, between what you give and take. Make sure you're getting your fair share if you're splitting shit up. You know what I'm saying? You make sure you get your fair share, but don't be an asshole, pretty much, Don't give till it's detrimental to you, but don't sit there and watch other people suffer either if you have it to give, is the important message here. Strength. These are the energies we're moving into now, is strength. The grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness. Time to embrace how wonderful you are. At the very end here, though, we have the Nine of Winter. Unfounded fear, focusing on the worst case scenario, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So, and I mentioned this before, it's like you haven't actually done it, but you're like empowered by the idea of it, but you're not putting it into fruition because of fear, because of worst case scenario. And that's your ego setting its own energy trap for you. What if you go, what'll happen? Oh, all this bad stuff could happen. If you break this connection, what'll happen? Oh, all this bad stuff could happen. And then you won't know. And well, that's kind of the point. Before social media and stuff like that, when I moved a lot when I was little. And when we moved, unless you were active pen pals, you just never heard from those people again. Never saw them again, never knew what happened to them. Nothing. You just had this one chunk of time in your memory where they existed and then they just don't exist anymore. That's the price you pay. You have to let go of that because you also kind of create those scenarios and you create more drama by dwelling in that negativity. It lowers your whole vibration. All right. So I got Naked Before the Stars and Gilded Regret again. Everybody feels very vulnerable right now. Especially with the universal connectedness. It kind of makes you feel like you're watched all the time sometimes. But then there's also the gilded regret. What I've made all these decisions based on comfort and money, and now I'm not happy. And what can we do about this? Ancient healing wisdom. Especially if you guys are sick out there, because I know that's been going around. And remember, before COVID, we had all kinds of regular seasonal colds, seasonal flus, stomach bugs. I don't know if you got a kid in public school, like there's other things that you can get sick with. So definitely take some time to get rebrushed up on in ancient healing wisdom, different teas, different things of that nature, and look into other types of healing. If your meditations and things like that are getting bored, or your practices are getting boring, and it's like, all right, I'm doing all this inner work and I meditate every day for 30 minutes, and you're getting bored with it, look into other areas to kind of reactivate that for you. And the other one is waterfall and effortlessness. It's only difficult when you make it difficult. If you roll with it, it's supposed to be pretty effortlessly. There's, if you want something to fight against, the universe will give you something to fight against. Or you can go ahead and free fall and see what happens. It all depends on whether you trust the universe or not. I got successful career here, a happy working environment, pay raises, and promotions. If you're genuinely happy at your job or whatever kind of career or whatever that you have, you allow it to adapt. Allow it to adapt to your skills. If doors are closing, remember, one's always going to open someplace else. So let's talk about this with a friend the other day. She had asked about a job, and I had told her to go ahead and take it, and then the universe did all this stuff, and then she ended up not taking that, not having that job. And it was just like, well, you weren't even sure you wanted it to begin with, so this was just a confirmation from the universe, but at least you can say you do have that work history now. You can say, I did work for this company. All right, what do we got here? The elements. The element of fire, air, earth, and water combined create a powerful and protective boundary, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. That's a big message. Earth, air, fire, water. Earth, what? Physical reality, 3D reality. Air, what? Your thoughts and words, where are they? Fire, passion, and drive. Where's your passions? Where's your drive at? And then water, emotions and intuitions. What is your emotions? What is your intuition? What are you allowing to guide you? I'm proud of you guys that are making the big changes, for sure. For sure. And I know a lot of what everybody's going through is not easy right now. Trust me. I know. I do. I've told you guys before. I mean, the universe came to me and just told me pretty much what your life is not terrible right now, except for one big glaring thing that's driving you insane. Here's how to fix it. Ooh, I towered my whole damn life, y'all. I made everything a lot more difficult on myself. But I still see that everything I did was out of necessity. You know, with everybody getting sick and stuff like that, yeah, I do worry about, I worry about my ex-husband, you know, but he was just in the hospital not too long ago. And they told him the same thing. We can't help you unless you start helping yourself. You know, his family wanted to treat me like I was the asshole. You know, but it's blah, 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 blah. See, that's the dwelling. That's that 3D line that I read at the beginning there, talking about dwelling in the negativity of the past. But it does. I know it hurts. I know it hurts. I know it's not cool. I know it's, one foot in front of the other. Well, that's it. You know, and that's why I like to do the mindful living techniques, because it's really about every decision you make through each key point. And now, that's it. That is it. One foot in front of the other, one decision after the other, you know, and it's about the follow through, like back to the golfing analogies. None of it matters is if when, you know, it doesn't matter how long you stand there, get your feet right, get your back right, get your things, practice swing, practice swing, practice swing. Oh, and none of doing all that matters if you never actually hit the fucking ball. You want to play the game, you have to actually hit the ball. I say that with the Archer things. Whenever I get an Archer card, I'm like, yeah, it's great to have focus and drive and aim and your trajectory and all that worked out, but it doesn't matter if you go hunting what deer you hit or whatever it is that you hit and kill if you never go and get it. Just shoot it and okay, I'm done and leave. No. That's not how hunting works. Now you've got to go and get the animal. And if it's a bow and arrow, you got to follow the freaking blood trails, and then you got to find it, and then you got to finish killing it, and then you got to clean it and chop it up to carry it back. And, you know, yeah. The fun part is tracking it through the woods and the shot. But then as soon as you're done with that, there's the work that goes along with it. You got to do the follow through stuff. And it's not always the fun stuff. Well, that's where the effortless card comes in too. But it's just, I don't know. I don't ask for anything. Like, there's all these spellcasters that they ask for specific things. Like, I know I do the health and abundance and things like that for people. And I do a lot of, casting in the cord, and people are asking for different things in that nature. But generally, for me personally, I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for anything. I feel very weird about, I feel very weird about it. I feel very weird about like trying to alter my path magically in any sense. I was like, no, when it comes to dealing with this, the 3D levels of it, it's just, like you said, it's one foot in front of the other. It's just, I am open to receiving whatever the universe is willing to give me or wants to give me or thinks I need. I am open to whatever the universe feels is best, but I don't cast out any intentions. And if I say some ridiculous claim about a big goal, it's usually because I did figure out if I tell anybody what my goals are, I won't do it. And if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I won't do it. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure it's something. Well, that's what I said. It's all really perspective. I mean, with everything that's going on, man, it's like, what? And I was like, I don't know. Dinner's always on the table. Roof's always over my head. Lights are always on. Always have the basics, right? It's like life. Some people don't, some people don't even get that. So it's like, and that's all effortless really for me. No, you just ease into and relax into that mode and just be open, and then the universe brings in unexpected things like Rob's and YouTube. I didn't know I was going to do YouTube. That's been a trip. You'd be surprised, girl. I think you're going to be just fine. I think you're going to be just fine. Anyway, I am off to go do the kiddos and all that good stuff at 7:30. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and windy paths with me. I love y'all, and I'll catch you later.